let's just talk about circle of doom. And when it comes to the beginning part, blocking the person's kick, they're both the same. Circle of doom and rotating instruction are the same, with the only exception the height, due to the different height of stance. In circle of doom, I'm going to use a reverse bow. In rotating instruction, I'm going to use a reverse close kneel stance actually on the first movement. When he's attacking me, I'm going to be even lower, all right? And so a lot of people are going to wonder, well, how is that going to work? Right? So one of the first problems we see in circle of doom is that people attack wrong. Can you get in front of me for a moment? Yes, right? So the attack is a front kick to the midsection. That's the first problem we see with this technique, is that people do it against a different attack. Because it is difficult for people to understand, how could you block that on the inside, because your first block is a palm down, downward, inward, right? So he blocks that, boom, which is a very fast block, right? So that obviously demonstrates one of the qualities of Parker's stamp. Oh, well, the fastest thing. And Mr. Parker specifically talks about that in this technique. You go ahead and do the attack to me once, right? So I'm in this position, my hand hanging down, my arm obviously can block in this angle, and it does that, let's do it again, right? Because it's the best available target, which is in this case your leg coming at me, with my best available weapon, right? At the best angle possible, that's the fastest. That's essentially how Mr. Parker describes that in the journal, specifically about this technique. So, in other words, why would we block like that? Well, because it's the fastest move. Kick me as fast as you can. Bam, right? It's not that hard to deal with. If it wasn't a fighting stance already, it's even easier, right? And I got another arm, covering me there as well, right? So, that's not the part that causes problems for people, right? The part is going like, well, hang on, how am I going to translate that then into do that again? How am I going to get from here, pick up his leg and bring it over there, and then extend it outward block? That's what people have difficulty with, and they don't understand. So what people do is they often change the attack. Give me a high kick that I can very easily scoot over, and now I can make this technique work, right? Doing just the extended outward block. But that's not the actual attack, and this is not the first block of circle of doom or rotating instruction. The first block is a palm down, downward, inward block. The attack is a front kick to my midsection. Oh, sorry, okay? Again, right here. So it's a point of origin idea, right? I can get there faster than anything else I can do, right? And it's very effective, right? So now, how do we get from here to the attack again? How do I get from here, now do a high kick, to here, the extended outward block move, right? A lot of people just give up on that idea and they don't do the first part. What this technique teaches you, circle of doom and rotating instruction, both teach you is how to disturb the person's balance. Again, Mr. Parker is very specific about this, even in the journal. He talks about we are redirecting and riding his kick, and then disturbing his balance. Right? So how are you going to do that? So a lot of people think you're going to do that just with your arm. That's hard, right? So if he kicks, my midsection, I'm here, and now if you notice there for a moment, I'm not going to hold him too long because we're going to injure each other's ankles or feet, or you're going to land. Yeah. How much control do you have at that moment? Do the kick again? Like, I mean, at that one, right now, how do you feel in control of yourself? Right? Am I able to move you wherever I want to now?
Yes.
Fairly much, right? And what is your main concern?
My balance.
Yeah, you're going to fall any moment, right? So I trap that foot, and he's not holding it there for me. He is trying to kick me right in the gap. Right there, right? Do that again. Kick me, move me, move me. So I'm taking all the width zones away, right? And I'm blocking, and then I'm trapping the leg. Right? And once I got that, I actually want him to suffer from that effect a little bit. So here would be another concern that some people have, and I want to make sure we address that. Do the same thing. Here, throw a second kick with that leg. Good luck, right? So that's not going to happen. Right? The person is stuck because I got your leg trapped. Right? So now it should be easier to see how in circle of doom you're going to control where he's going to go next. Right? And it should also be easier to see that the reverse closed kneel stance now makes sense. Like I'm taller than you are, so for me it actually is not a bad idea to do the kick again. It's not a bad idea to do this a little lower with my knee bent right here before I just move you over. All right. That is circle of doom or rotating destruction. All right, make sense?
Sir.
Now, by the way, these should be coupled together with one other technique that is actually not on the belt levels anymore, and that's intellectual departure. But also one additional technique, and that is just, it has another name, it's in long form too. Right? Because the same position right here, right, with my front arm down, rear arm low, right, can lead me into a kick to handle it again. Right? So I should be in this position, bam, make you walk right into a kick. That's essentially intellectual departure. Right? I'm here, one, bam, right, and then from there I'm going to kick your knee out if you left it there, but you make all the fun out of it. There you go, bam, kick your knee out, right? We're worried about the beginning part. What's my best block? What's my best counter? So we have intellectual departure gives us that right there, right? Then we have long form 2 gives us that right there. Right? That's long form 2. After you're right here, bam, right? And now it's mirror side, right? So he takes, bam, and there's my block, right? But this block turns a little further. Again, it's a palm down downward inward, but that doesn't take my midsection all that well. But in preparation for my back knuckle, I'm going to already roll my elbow up a little bit. So long form 2 has, bam, this right here. He comes right into the attack from there. Right? Beautiful move. 1, he helps me back knuckle. Right? Alright, makes sense?
Sure.
This starts that, right? And so we have those two possibilities that I'm either going to use my kick, front leg, right, do that again. That was nice. Or, right, or again, I catch and then go over that way. Now, the mechanics of this is, the first part is easy. Just turn your hand palm back, bring your arm across, all right? Do the kick from there. So all it is right here, right? But once you do that, you also have to turn away because you don't want to present any of these higher targets. Yes, you do move back to the thing again. I do move back. If I start in the right neutral bow stance, this is usually where it starts. Right? I'm getting myself more distance, but more importantly, I am taking all the width stones away from him. And I'm setting myself up to hook quite easily. If you notice, that was almost effortless. I did not try to use the strength of my arm. Once I blocked, I kept my elbow anchored. And just bring your fist up with your hand up. Keep this anchored. Look how simple that is and how easy that works. Go ahead and drop your leg down. Put your weight on. Here, I'll drop too. Close kneel, like rotating destruction. Go ahead, put your weight on it. Go ahead, see if I can. And then for me, don't let me move this arm, this leg up now. Okay, good luck. This is a very strong position to have as long as you keep the elbow. So all you gotta do, yes, you're gonna check with your rear hand, yes, you move back, but what we gotta work on right now is bringing the arm across right here, right? As we turn to a reverse bow and take away all the targets, which goes very fast, that's easy to do, right? And then from here, keep that elbow anchored and just trap his foot. 1, 2. So 1, you turn to the reverse bow and block. All right. 2, you just bend that your right forearm to be able to hook the person's leg. You have your left arm, left hand checking at head level, of course, your highest back. in the groin, right? Then from here, there would be absolutely no reason for me to raise my leg here to hit him. It's going to be just more difficult to find the target. It's going to take me longer to get there. He can get an arm in between my leg and his face. So I'm going to follow right at the contour. Right, so bam, it's right here, but it actually hooks. So from this position, I come here, wham, this way. Okay? Because again, I can do that while I'm looking at you. Worst case scenario, he gets his arm up, and then a hook is going to be to the ribs. Or the groin, right? It doesn't really make much of a difference, right? The big part of knowing how to defend against an attack is knowing the attack first, right? So we cannot simulate reality if we don't attack each other properly. This is a front thrust kick we're talking about here. Somebody's trying to move you, somebody's trying to go through you, right? Fighting stance, you knock me back, right? Ready, go. Again, yeah, I know I missed the back. Yeah. Do it again, and now we're gonna go and try to do the first move of Circle of Doom. Alright? To see whether or not I can do it in against the real kick. Right? It's very hard to ask each other sometimes, make your kick as real as possible, but by the time you've done it 10 times, you subconsciously get used to what's about to happen to you and you start going with it, right? We are often guilty of that. So this prevents that. It keeps the kick real, right? Okay. So let's try that a couple of times. For the opponent, there you go, for the attacker to keep the kick real, right?